Right, everyone, today I have a surprising guest, someone who is, as everybody is on this podcast, connected to a hotel, but you will not know him as his real name, Peter Kyrpi. He is known as the Cypriot Smurf on social media, specifically Instagram and I think TikTok.
Yeah, YouTube.
And YouTube. He makes hilarious videos, and we're going to go into that later and maybe do some jokey things here. Nothing is off limits, we said today. So brace yourself, everyone, for the ride of your life and maybe a few swear words. This is a warning in advance. So Peter, hello.
Hello. I will try not to swear. Like it's one of my New Year's resolutions to try and
tone it down.
Tone it down a little bit.
You know what?
Not too much.
I used to swear quite a bit. I think it's the British side of us. And then kids knocked it all out of me.
Oh, okay.
And now I'm like, oh my gosh.
Because you said something once and they repeated.
No, I just was so aware when they were little. Yes, my godchild.
Because they just start.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't know.
Yeah,
I haven't
not
got
there
kids
yet.
myself, but I'm one of those uncles.
Yes.
Go to your friend's house, say something, the kid replies, and I'm going to leave now.
Yes. No, yeah, you'll see when you have kids, and you're like suddenly like, and then it does all change.
It's funny when they're not your kids and they repeat something, and you're like,
it's funny.
It's funny. But then when it's your kid, and you're like, your kid's got to go to school and start saying well, you're a bad parent. You're like, okay, this is when these frigging instead of the other word comes out.
Yeah, exactly. And you start being like 1950s parents of, oh my golly gosh.
But 1950s parents is butchers as well.
True,
you know what I mean?
All right, so come on then, tell us, who is the man behind the Cypriot Smurf?
The man behind the Cypriot Smurf, I think, do you know what it is? It's my alter ego Souvlagis, but it is me deep down.
Yeah.
It's just
you that always wanted to come out.
Yeah, it's like me in the Horko, in the village. That's just the way I am as well, whenever I am in the village. But he's also, whenever I see like an uncle or an older guy in the village, I just take little
snippets.
Yeah, little snippets of him. That would be good for Souvlagi. That would be good for Souvlagis. Like I have friends that their English is like 5-6, and I'm like, when they say something incorrect, I'm like, I'm going to have that for him as well. And he's just.
Actually, I think we have to explain to everyone. So if you're not following already, Cypriot Smurf, get along. The link will be in the comments. And just hilarious. So Peter basically makes fun and mimics heavy Cypriot accents, quite idiosyncratic behavior of many people on the island, the older mentality, and just a lot of fun, all in good humor. I mean, it's really in good humor. We love Cyprus. So, but Peter so I've known Peter's dad I knew Peter's dad for many, many years. I worked with him. They have a company called Deblitech.
DLK.
Now, but once upon a time it was Deblitech. And I think I was one of your dad's first, if not the first client.
Do you know what? It was, it's funny that you say that because, my dad was very comical as well.
Yes.
He always had a sense of humor.
Yeah.
So I know it's going to be a bit morbid, but at his funeral, a lot of customers came, and as they were shaking our hands, they were like, "I was your dad's first customer. I was your dad's first customer. I was your dad's first customer." And me and my sister, we just laughed, and we was like, "We think that was his in."
That was
like,
his in.
"Oh, you'll be my first customer."
Because
literally, when we hear it, even to this day,
so funny.
Your dad was a great person. He was my first customer.
Oh my goodness! So if you're listening from up above,
I'm sure he is, and he's laughing.
Yeah, and laughing,
especially now.
But I think I was the first hotel though. I did check it.
I think you was,
and I remember from after that, because I remember people calling and asking because I was the reference, and I was like, he
was like
cool.
the first one that really started off with like websites and everything. He basically nearly made Facebook, with like uploading pictures and stuff like this. Just needed a little bit more of a push.
Yeah, we really had a lot of fun over the years, and it was a good cooperation, and I like to think of him as a good friend. Yeah.
He always told me that you were very good friends and everything.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, he was definitely a fun guy. So I knew you then just from afar when you were little.
Still am little.
Yeah, still am little at heart. So tell us a bit about you. Like you, Peter, you.
I get lost within everything else.
Yeah, come on.
Me, Cypriot, dad, Italian mum, born in England, moved over when I was 10. And
never lost the English accent.
Yeah, it just doesn't go because I went to an international school. So we had, there was Russians, there was English, there was every nationality you could think of.
And your dad had the same accent.
Yeah, and he had the same accent.
Yeah.
But, you know, going to the village and everything like that, picking up the accent on the correct way of pronouncing things, because obviously you don't want to sound like, you know, when people come on holiday to hotels and you see the English people on holiday, they're like Prataris. And
yes.
like that. I didn't want to.
Pathos. Oh my goodness.
But
funny.
yeah, so I've always wanted to do comedy, always wanted to be a comedian, always wanted to be like my dad as well. My dad got kicked out of school when he was 16. I got kicked out of school when I was 16.
Yeah, that maybe wasn't the best part of the role model that he would have, I think, wanted you to.
At the same time, if I'd stayed in school, went to university, maybe I wouldn't have been a comedian.
Yeah.
Maybe I wouldn't have done everything I've already done, and very proud of it. I wouldn't, I don't regret or change anything, you know.
But tell us, what did you do then? So, okay, you were kicked out of school.
I had 16? To go. Yeah, I had to, my dad had the company, but he wouldn't let me work for the company. He wanted me to learn what it was like to work. So I went and done aluminium with my uncle in the village. So I thought I was doing aluminium, but when you are the youngest person in like the shop, you become the coffee errand boy. So I was just bringing coffees and back and forth to the gaffineer. I was really bad at it. Very bad, kept on spilling them. He used to tell me this trick. The tip was don't look down, look straight. I don't know if you heard that. Don't look down, look straight. I tried that once, didn't look down, I looked straight. When I got back to the shop, even the cups were gone. So it didn't, I wasn't cut out for it. So I done that for like a year, 16, and then I went to the army a year earlier. So instead of going 18, I was 17. I done national service, and I feel like that's where I learned most of my Greek, even though I don't speak it fluent. I do, but I don't. And I feel like the whole comedy thing is the thing that keeps me back a little bit because people like it when I speak incorrect. So if I learn too much, then I might like remove from that. So so I feel, and maybe that I just can't learn it now. So and see,
my dear, I'm with you. I mean, I've been here for so many years, and my Greek is still. I'm okay. But
have you noticed, like based on the industry or based on what you're talking about, if you're in the hotel industry, if someone's talking about something that is hotel related, you know you're covered. But if it's
definitely.
Politics or something like that, then you're like, what word is that?
No idea. Yeah.
And
ironically, in construction, I'm okay.
Oh, yeah.
Because we've done so many things. I'll be like explaining even to my husband, like, what's this? Yeah.
You know, like,
but then,
Have you noticed as well, though, even Cypriots, even Greeks, a lot of them don't even know the alphabet. Like I've seen a lot, and I've spoken to a lot. Like, tell me the alphabet, and they can't.
Yeah, because it comes naturally. Not everybody sits down and does grammar, and
Can you do the alphabet in Greek?
I think I can. Yeah.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah, but I've got kids, young kids.
Oh yeah. So you have to actually.
So I now, know all the kids' songs.
So you're like on first grade Greek.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, it's crazy. But it's tough.
Shapes.
It's tough. Yeah. And it's difficult because also in Cyprus we can get away so much with Gringlish and Greek and English, and then so it's tough. It's easier
Russian?
a bit of Russian thrown in. So okay, so you were helping your uncle out in aluminium, but doing coffee runs.
Yeah, coffee runs.
And then what did you do from there?
Yeah, so it was army. After the army, started working with my dad, and I've been doing that type of work ever since.
Yeah, and do you enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I love it, even though I do comedy.
Because it's evolved now. So it was W Tech, and now
DLK.
It's DLK.
Yeah, IT.
IT solutions, isn't it? So websites.
Company, but I do enjoy it. You know, like sometimes at one point I was thinking just to go and do comedy only, but I enjoy it.
Where do you do your comedy apart from online?
I've been to Australia, I've been to South Africa, I've been to England.
And do stand-ups?
Yeah, I do stand-up.
Nice.
I do like a whole show. So it's stand-up and I bring souvlagis out because they love souvlagis. Everyone wants to see souvlagis. They want to see him more. They want to see me. So I go abroad and I create this.
That's the character that you...
Yeah, I do.
I laugh so much with the hairy chest. It's just hilarious.
It's real.
It's real.
Yeah. I do want to one day only do stand-up and not bring souvlagis on stage. But I always want to create the videos. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like if I only do stand-up, he can come out of me as well. But at the same time, I know that the audience, especially in Australia and South Africa, they really like this type of comedy with characters and like improv on stage and sketches on stage sort of thing. They really enjoy and like that.
I guess it's the evolution of individuals and comedians. I mean, you see, look at Ali G, for example.
Ali G was he was so ahead of everything and everyone.
But he doesn't need that to come out now. Now, I mean, he's done serious acting, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I heard Ali G's coming back though.
Yeah, maybe.
And I really hope so. Yeah. He'll get cancelled in first episode for sure, but
especially in the States. Nah. Oh my goodness, so funny. So funny what he got away with.
But I think I think he wouldn't get cancelled actually, because I think, especially in comedy, I even saw there was one comedian like Ricky Gervais. He would say very controversial stuff, and he gets away with it.
Also vegan.
Yeah. You wouldn't tell.
I will keep bringing this in, guys, and we'll explain why in a bit.
Yeah, you wouldn't tell he's vegan. By looking at him. But he would say controversial stuff, but people expect it from him. Jimmy Carr, he would say controversial stuff. People expect it from him, and they wouldn't cancel him. They won't attack or anything like that. But then there was a comedian the other day who said something controversial, which he doesn't usually do, and he gets attacked. And it depends how you take it and how you reply. I think many people
they will attack, but then if the followers maybe
if you hold your ground as a comedian, say, you know, I don't care, or that's my joke, get on with it, then I feel like they will learn to, all right, he doesn't care, so we're just going to get on with it. But if you do these apologies and everything like that, then I feel like that's the end of your not end of your career, but end of you ever getting a bit risky with comedy. Like I done a risky joke in my show, which I won't say. And they enjoyed it. They liked it. And I was a bit worried to say it, but they enjoyed it. And it's like just a little taste. Because when I go abroad and do shows, it's more stereotypical, nostalgia. But when I'm in Cyprus and I do shows, it's more general, because like I'm not going to do that for them. Even I give them a taste. But
how do you find the crowd here? Because the humour is very different.
But the people that come to see me, like when I do my shows, I do
more
it
the half people, like Cypriots with.
But it's even Russians, Bulgarians, Romanians, any sort of nationality that is, you know, even not Cypriot but living in Cyprus or half, they enjoy and they relate. So I feel like when I was worried the first time I done a show in Larnaca, because it's like my hometown. And when I done it, I was just like, whoa, like this was great. You know, the audience were amazing. So Limassol, they were amazing as well, because they're already up here. You're very open-minded. Because
I do find many times like British humour or dry wit it's different here. So I find it I'll be in a meeting and make a joke and then everyone's just like still faced.
I feel like I've got the dry English British humour, but I've also got the Cypriot sort of humour as well, because there's a lot that you would say in English which wouldn't be funny. If you say it in Cypriot, it's like something silly. Like someone said to me, Bosokronanise, and I was like, Galai, see? Like just like that silly little reply is funny. But if you said it in English, how old are you? I'm good, and you? Thanks, they just think that's stupid. But so little things, I think. So even in my stand-up, if I throw in a little punchline in Greek, it would be a word that anyone should be able to understand and they would enjoy it. And if they don't, and I see they don't, I would interact, make fun of them for not knowing, or so what. So well,
look at Eddie Murphy. I mean, he did Delirious in the early 80s, and that was like so controversial. It was like banned everywhere. There was an uproar, and it took, I don't know how, nearly 10 years, I think it was 9 years to do Raw. But then that was which wasn't so much better. It wasn't PC, but it was taken by that stage in the 90s.
But then you've got like George Carlin that is just so straightforward and says it how it is, you know. And at the end of the day, it's just words, and comedy is just, you know, we're not a comedian that's saying something isn't saying something through hatred. It's doing it to make you laugh. And sometimes it is awareness. Like you could say a really dark joke, but I feel like Ricky Gervais does it as well. He does these types of jokes where he wants you to think about it as well. It's like, I'm not doing this just to make you
you're
laugh.
laughing, but then actually, why is that funny?
He has a point.
Yeah.
You know, so
absolutely.
I feel like you have to be like you've got to be a little bit educated to watch comedy as well, to actually get it.
Well, most of the comedians are super intelligent. I mean, super, like,
no, I mean to be an audience as well.
Yes,
you know, because if you don't get that, this is a joke. This was like just to. Then these are the people that are just going and cancelling people and everything like that. They want to live in a world with no comedy. You know,
which would be so dull.
Which would be very dull.
Yeah, actually, Mo Gaudat, who I've been in touch with, a really nice man, very well known, who wrote Solve Happy, and he says he watches Michael McIntyre. He's got a whole theory on how to be happy and live your happiest, and he's been through hard times. And he watches Michael McIntyre every night before he sleeps.
PG.
To be,
Yeah, he's a bit PG, but he's very smart.
Very, And
what was it that he done? I watched something during Christmas time.
Oh, so funny, the food.
No, the one after Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's, it's like a you don't know where or what day it is or what you're meant to be doing. Are things open? Are things not open? He does that little bit, which is very funny because I was even thinking that. And I just watched it. I was like, it's exactly this.
Yeah, he is. It's good.
But it's nice to sometimes you watch a comedian, like sometimes I watch a comedian and I'm like, that's exactly how it is. Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
And then sometimes I would say something and someone will come up to me and say, "Yeah, that's so true. I never thought of it of that
in that way."
In that way. So it's nice to actually, like, even little things. Like, I was driving yesterday. I thought it was funny, so I'm going to figure a way to turn it into a bit. Copyrights. So basically, I was driving on a road and someone went to cross, and I stopped and I let him go past. And as he's crossing the road, I look in my back, my mirror, my wing mirror, and there was no cars behind me. And I was just thinking, I didn't have to stop. Like, even if I just carried on going, he had plenty of time. So now I feel a bit weird and strange that I actually stopped. Like, maybe this guy thinks I want to stare at him. Like, he could have just gone. I had plenty of room. So I don't know. For me, I just laughed to myself, and I need to find a way to like write that in, because I think it was funny. It's happened multiple times. And when it's a woman, they just think, he's trying to stare at me. Like,
no,
I had so much.
Kind.
Yeah, I was just trying to be kind. Because I didn't really look behind, which I should be doing actually. But yeah.
I don't know. Maybe as a protective mum, I think this is not a funny. You can't put that in. But when I stop and there's no one behind, I think, okay, but I'm just in case somebody came really fast or went, then I'm making sure they cross the road safely. And then So why do you like making people laugh? What do you think it is in your life, in your character, that has pulled you to be, I mean, I guess an extrovert in that way, to get energy from people and feel happy?
I feel like I'm what is is introvert, extrovert, and there's another one in the middle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm that.
Okay.
Because it depends. Like, if it's a place,
metrovert.
I think, I think it is something
is
like, I think it's something like that.
In the middle.
There is something in the middle, and that's what I think I am. Because like, when it comes to like busy clubs and this, no. When it comes to like a show where, like a stand-up comedy show, yes. I think I just need to be comfortable. But I got into comedy because I remember before Snapchat and all of this, before we had the actual tools to create content online, I used to always, have a long day, go home, feeling a bit down, and I would just put on Only Fools and Horses.
Yeah.
And just listen to Del Boy and Rodney in the background while I was cooking, and it just made me laugh and made me happy. And then I just knew that's how I wanted to make other people feel. So from once Snapchat came out and everything like that, and I started creating content online and people started enjoying it, and I started making people laugh and feel good about themselves, I just wanted more and more. And it's like, for me, it's like a drug. Even getting on stage, I don't go on stage too often. I think I would if I lived in Australia, America or England.
Yeah.
But because, as we said about the humour, sometimes I need to do a show and people that actually follow me to come and watch me to actually get
really want to be there.
So when I get on stage and I hear that first, I actually forget everything before I get on stage. And then I get on stage, I say something, I get a laugh, and then everything just comes flowing back, and I just don't want to get off stage. But I need to get better. I need to do, get better.
Practice. Practice makes perfect.
I've got a show March the.
So they say the 10,000 hour rule, isn't it? It's a lot, but
that's a hell of a lot.
But
I've got
but the more you practice, the more
So I've got a show March 27th and 28th
in
Cyprus. 27th in Larnaca, 28th in Limassol.
Oh, okay.
And with Elena.
I'll come and watch you.
With my friend Elena Gabriel. She's very plus 18. I would say. So be ready.
Okay. But I'll be ready. I love it.
Everyone loves her. She's great. She's my mentor as well. She really pushed me, like, because of comedy. Like, I was doing the videos, but when it came to stand-up, I watched her show over here. And I got asked to go to Australia to do a show. It's like my Australian mother called Mary. She came over and she was like, I'm going to go back. I'm going to talk to the Cypriot community. I'm going to get you to come to Australia. Nothing ever like that lucky or that cool ever happened to me. So I was just like, yeah, all right. And she went and she sorted it out. I went to Australia. And I'd done stand-up and done my show. But Eleanor gave me advice, opinions, what to do, what not to do, how to even just to, master your joke, trim the fat. If you get the punchline, don't continue, a lot of this type of stuff, which really helped. And whenever she comes to Cyprus now, we do a show together. So that's how we met.
Where's she from?
She's originally from Australia. She lives in Berlin now, I think, but she's a comedian. She travels the world. I think she's in Mumbai now.
That's and then, so nice. So and how did you meet her?
Through her show in Cyprus. She was doing a show, and I went to watch, and then I gave the whole little, oh yeah, I'm a comedian, I'm gonna da, da, da. And she came back before I went to Australia to do another show, and she gets people to go on stage to do the show, and she was like, you need to get on stage before you go to Australia. You need to go on stage, you need to say a story. And I did, and it was the first time I actually got on stage ever, and I really enjoyed it. And I won a lap dance from a very strutting African American man. There is a video, but I've got my friends to delete it. He had me up here at one point. I thought, oh, you won a dance. I was like, great. And then it was like, from him. I was like, oh, okay. And they put me in a position where they were like, oh, you're homophobe. I was like, no, I'm coming. I'm getting up.
Okay, so where did the name come from, the Cypriot Smurf?
Cypriot Smurf was given to me by my cousin, Nick, because I tried to go live in England. And I needed it was just through getting a SIM card. So I needed a username, and he just called me Cypriot Smurf, like, because I'm Cypriot and I'm small. Yeah. Even though I sound and look like this, when I go to live in England or go to a holiday in England, I'm such a tourist. I don't know how to get a bus. I don't know how to get a train. I don't know nothing. So if it's going that way, that's the way I want to go. That's the one I get on. That's it.
Yeah.
So he gave me Cypriot Smurf as a nickname. That was before I was doing comedy as well, and then it just stuck.
And it stuck.
But then I tried to push into my real name now.
Yeah.
I want to.
And I mean, I've seen some of your videos. I mean, you've over 200,000 views. What's your biggest video, and why do you think it erupted? Let's say. I mean, I saw that funny one with the Greek lady, I mean, from Greece, driving, and you're going, Bodi, Boda, and like...
Oh, yeah. That was Ariana.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's a Greek-American comedian, and we thought we'd do something together where Cypriots and Greeks, like, we get confused of what we say. But I think my biggest ones were... that was actually a really... That was watched. That was a very well-watched video. But I think a lot of the time I get people telling me they liked my bus driver one that I'd done years ago, and the aeroplane one. And also my latest one was the tennis, sort of like as a tennis player, which I really enjoyed. It's like one of my favorite videos. I made a song as well, Cypriot God. So if you Google Cypriot God, I come up now, which I find it kind of funny. But at the same time, like, I get bored easy, and I don't like to repeat things. So if I've done a joke, even though I've done it years ago, and things are like, a lot of people are coming out doing videos as well now, I can't go back. I only go forward. So my idea for Souvlagis is to be like this the Cypriot version of Ali G. Like Ali G's got Ali G, he's got Borat. I want, when they think Ali G and Borat, when they think Greece or Cyprus, I want them to think Souvlagis. So I tried to keep, he's like modern. He thinks he's modern. He thinks he's in and down cool with the times and cool, but he's not. But he is a kind gentleman.
Gentlemen.
Gentlemen's. So yeah, I want him. That's why he speaks broken English now. And
has he had Kovic yet? That's our Jake at home. We're like Kovic because it's there's I'll be like copyright. No, use it. So we have this like ongoing joke that it's 3 years later. And most people in Cyprus still haven't realised it's COVID.
Okay,
it's COVID. So it's Kovic, she's Kovic. And it's always with a K at the end. And so, some of my like closest friends will be like, my husband, should we break the news to them or should we just leave it
just let them say?
Yeah,
I like it when they say, when he wants to get down from the car, they go, and go downstairs.
Yeah.
Stuff like that when it's not downstairs. But someone said that to me. A Cypriot said that to me and I wrote it down. And it's just
it's nice.
Yeah,
exactly. It's literally in good
one day
humor.
there will be a movie of Souvlakis. It'll be called Souvlakis. That's it.
So what's been your favourite reel? I mean, forget what people have liked. What has been yours? Because it's often very different.
Yeah. I think mine is the tennis player because I've really enjoyed playing and making it. And I did make a series at one point, Be a Greek, where there's things that we do, and at the end it would be like the punchline, Be a Greek. Example: don't ask Google. We already know everything. Be a Greek. I had some issues because everyone was like, you should say be a Cypriot. But at the end of the day, I wanted more people to enjoy it.
A bigger audience, and everyone is speaking Greek, and we're Greek Cypriots. So
sometimes I want to say this on stand-up as well. Like I have friends and people that we're Cypriot, we're not Greek. We're Cypriot, we're not Greek. But then when you're out and Nodis Vaganagis Imeelinas comes on, they are going ham. They are loving it. Imeelina. I'm like, what? They're like, all right.
Yeah.
So everyone has their own.
Got their own.
Everyone has their own thoughts, and everyone's allowed to have their own opinion and the way they think and the way they feel.
Yeah.
So, but that's the way I feel. Especially, I went to Thessaloniki not long ago, and someone asked me, "Do you know these guys that they want to sell you perfumes and glasses?" They're like, where are you from? And I was like, είμαστε Κυπρέοι. He was like, τι Κυπρέοι, είσαστε Έλληνες και εσείς, we're brothers, sisters, da da da. And I was like, that's beautiful. I love that. How maybe he was just trying to get a sell.
Yes,
it was still nice.
Do you always get? I always find when I go to Greece, especially when I speak in Greek, which is a little bit Cypriot, my Greek, and it's always that condescending look, and they go, "Καταλάβετε there," and they feel sorry. They're like, "Είσαστε από την Κύπρο," and it's this, look of like, it will be okay kind of thing. And I'm like, I kind of understood what you're saying. It's okay.
A taxi driver in Limassol told me once, because he was Greek from Greece, and we spoke and was having a conversation about this, and he said that the reason we speak the way we speak, obviously through people invading and everything, we pick up different words, but also in Greece, they use every word in the dictionary. So every action has a specific word, where we might use one word for many actions. So we don't use every single word within the dictionary where they do. So
it's also the dialects closest to the ancient Greek.
But also the islands. Like we would speak or sound or you like a bit more like Rodo, Crete, and all of this. But it's similar to like if you went to England, Ireland, Scotland.
England's amazing. I mean, there's just so many dialects.
No one understands the people from
Liverpool,
Newcastle.
Geordie, no way.
Even people from Newcastle don't understand people from Newcastle. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Liverpool, I like it though. The Scouse accent. I've got friends from Liverpool, but when they speak Greek, they don't sound like they're from Liverpool.
That's amazing,
it's weird.
Huh?
Yeah.
There you go. So tell us about your podcast that you've just started. You've just launched, Cooler Box.
Cooler Box podcast, Bagoniera. So we called it Cooler Box because I wanted to. And
the we is with Laggy Flatley.
Laggy Flatley.
The not so little anymore, but I think a lot of us remember him as the little boy who came on with Stavros Flatley into Britain's Got Talent and danced around. Super cute child. And now he's a not just a grown man, but he's a daddy, isn't he?
Yeah, I wouldn't say grown man, but he's a daddy. But yeah, we became friends over here because obviously I do what I do. He was doing what he was doing. And it's like I went to see him and we just became friends through COVID, decided we were going to go camping. And that's one reason I wanted to call it Cooler Box, because I remember when we went camping, we had the bagonera there. We were just around the beach. It weren't just me and him. There was other people as well.
Romantic.
If it was just me and him, we wouldn't be here to tell you the tales. That's funny. But and that's why I wanted to call it Cooler Box, because you go on an adventure, you take a cooler box, you know. So, and it's in the cooler box you have a bit of everything. You have drinks, you have food. So that's what our podcast is going to be about. A bit of everything, whatever comes out. There will be some structure, but then it would always go off topic.
Yeah,
and
it's just fun. And it's produced here, everyone.
And it's produced here. Hopefully we don't get cancelled from St. Raphael.
The rude jokes. Christos can cope with you, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Well, we're definitely going to be supporting it.
Thank you so much.
And what are your dreams for the future?
My dreams for the future is to just do exactly what I'm doing, but just on a bigger scale. Keep going, create more, make more people laugh, and do more live shows as well. I need to do more live shows, and I need to create more content with Souvlagis.
Yeah, I'm going to get Souvlagis eating vegan food and liking it on a reel. This was a joke, guys, before we started. Fasolja, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that's what we said. Like, vegan is just a word.
It's just a word that's thrown in.
I actually researched that. It was vegetarian, and vegan comes from vegetarian. Yeah. But they did try to come up with another name, but they couldn't think of anything.
Yeah, I think because of many vegetarians effectively eat vegan, like they don't eat any animal products, but many are ovo vegetarians, or there's different kind of strains of them. There might be a pescatarian, there might be someone who just eats eggs or just eats milk, and then it evolved into people who didn't want to not eat animal products, but also then not use or wear or utilize in any part of their life.
Do you think there will be something?
So then they said, oh, well, something more developing.
No.
Well, there is already, there's fruitarian. So,
fruitarian.
Yeah, there's raw vegans. There's, there's like, I don't want to use the word extremes because each their own, but there's definitely
extremes.
There's definitely there are health benefits. So there are obviously great. I mean, if somebody really needs to if they're sick, jokes aside now, if somebody's really sick and needs to properly do a cleanse, then there's nothing better than doing, whether it's a juicing or whether it's I don't know whatever, like eating only fruits. But there are people who literally live take that to quite a few months or years.
Why are you a vegan?
Then I'm a vegan because I don't like taking anything from the world that I don't need to take. So I don't want any one person or animal to suffer for me
But for saying that, if it was like apocalypse, and you needed to eat, you would possibly take something from the world that you would need to survive, right? Just a question.
So, you would give me an example
chicken.
Of but a chicken would be eating something to survive, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Yeah.
So, I'd find out what the chicken's eating, and I'd try and eat that rather than the chicken. So, I think there's like, how many times have you been in an apocalypse?
I don't know, but I'm ready.
Well, I don't think there's many. And I think, now there are just so many. Okay, we're going to try not to make this into like a human. It's quite, I mean...
No, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm actually asking the question because you said what you would take. Because I know there's a guy in Australia, he's a vlogger, and he will go and fish, but he'll catch one fish.
Yeah.
Because that's what he needs to eat. He's not going to catch 100 fish.
And maybe he'll just eat that, and he's not going to have bird's eye.
No, he would eat that fish.
Yeah,
so he actually, he would
which is then, I respect that more.
No.
And then, because he's not taking more from the world. For me personally,
that's why
I wouldn't enjoy that at this stage of my life because I wouldn't enjoy inflicting any pain. And I've read enough to know about what animals go through, and they feel the same pain that we feel. Even fish, because I ate before I went vegan, I was a pescatarian for 6 years. Sorry. I was vegan for 6, and I was pescatarian for 10 years. And it was just convenient for me at the time just to believe, but fish don't feel the pain that other animals feel, and it's okay, and we need it to be healthy. And what would I eat if I didn't eat that? I never ate cheese anyway. But actually, there's so much to eat. But the what would you eat it's a whole process to get into what you think is a side dish to have that as your main.
No.
But it is better. You do need, I've studied it. I mean, I have now 2 diplomas in what to eat so that I do have a balanced diet, and I make sure the family does as well.
But do you think there are also health benefits of meat?
So like there is, I mean, there's obvious things in that. There's higher forms of iron that's more easily absorbed. Protein, it's absolutely impossible to become protein deficient. You'd have to be living on Coca-Cola and Pringles, and then maybe you'd be protein deficient. But if you have any form of a semi-balanced diet, you might be lacking in B12, your iron might get low, you might not have your calcium. There's a million other things that might happen, but protein is the big marketing myth of the last few decades. I bet you've never met anyone who's protein deficient. There's no protein deficient wards in a hospital. So protein's not our problem. What is our problem, and that 90% of people don't get at the moment, even 95% in some of the Western world, is fiber. So people don't eat enough fiber, and there's no fiber in animal products. And that's what we need for our heart health, for our overall well-being. If we don't get enough fiber, that's what's causing many cancers, heart disease, diabetes type 2, and an array of other problems. So, yeah.
I love the knowledge.
Yeah. So
I haven't sold it for me, but
no, I'm not expecting you to leave from here and not go and get your souvlaki or suddenly change your alter ego. But
I need to
since it came up, yeah. So, but anyway, one day we'll do a funny reel, but I think it'll backfire on me, not you.
Yeah.
But it's fun anyway. But there you go. So, favorite quotes. I love asking everyone this.
My favorite quote, I've got 2.
Okay, you're allowed to.
Yeah. It's nothing. My uncle taught me this quote. I did Google it to see who actually created it, but couldn't find it. And I think it just helped me a lot in especially what I'm doing and the person who I was and become. And the quote is, people will treat you how you allow them. Because I feel like it also shows that you should have respect for yourself.
Yeah.
And because I was a pushover, and being in like this sort of industry and business, you need to like sort of set some ground rules. And I really like that quote.
Yeah.
And it's helped me a lot.
I love that quote.
And the other one is everyone knows it. And I think this company got it right, because this is what I've been saying a lot of lately, and that's Nike. Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes, should I do this? Yeah, just do it.
Just do it.
So 2024 for me is just like a just do it year.
Just do it, yeah.
I'm sure there was other people that had all these long ass quotes on this show, and I was like, just do it.
I think, I can't remember who I think it was, on a conversation on this podcast, and I said, just do it. And they were like, I think Nike's already taken that one.
But they smashed it. Yeah. They smashed it.
You know, the thing with that is just not to procrastinate. Procrastination is a killer of dreams. And I think the worst thing that can happen is you don't succeed at something. I don't want to use the word failure, but you fail at something, you fall down. You've tried it, you've learned. And then the next one, we just had Michelle Adams on here, who's a best-selling author, lives in Cyprus, and she's self-published. I think she said something like 6 books, and that were rejected, and she kept, and it was only by writing those words, by writing the 75,000 words per book, that she got better. So finally an agent picked her up and was like, this is amazing. And then but she needed that practice, and she needed to read the reviews, and she needed to say, but they didn't like that, or they liked that, or what was good. And so practice makes perfect, as Tigger says.
It's for like that industry as well. You can get someone to read a book and to see if they enjoyed it or not. Like with stand-up, you need to, I think it's like the only profession where the only way you can test is if you get on stage. So you got to sort of test it on the stage. Yes,
but you can test in front of friends. You can test recording. You're not going to get.
Sometimes I tell friends my jokes, and they're like, I don't know. And then I'll do it on stage, and I'll see them laughing. It's because sometimes you would have the way it's just
the energy.
Yeah, it's the energy. It's the way you perform. It's the audience. It's the everything. So, but the feeling of actually getting a laugh of something that you wrote is
amazing.
Is amazing. And that's another thing, just finding and writing. And I'm not a writer. I never thought I was a writer. And then Jerry Seinfeld, I watched his podcast, and he's like, basically, comedians are basically writers. I'm shit at grammar. I can't write for anything. So I might need Michelle
Adams
number to give me some grammar lessons. So
but I don't think you need that. Actually, we said with Michelle, because I'd read another quote that said we're all authors. The only difference is we all have our ideas in the shower. The difference is the ones who write it down afterwards and the ones who don't.
Literally,
because you forget.
If I'm in the shower, if I'm asleep,
and you get an idea,
I would just say like, "Hey Siri, write this note," and I'll just say it, because I used to be one of those. Oh, I won't forget that. I'll write it, and then you forget it straight away.
Yeah.
So I'd write it down. I've got some random things on my phone now. Can I read one?
Yeah.
Look, example. This is an example. My last note that I wrote, Tinder. They say on their bio that they're looking for someone serious, but yet they're on Tinder. Like they have all these requirements. They need to be this, they need to be that, but you're on Tinder. It's like beggars can't be choosers sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? So I wrote that, and then hopefully I could put that into stand-up or something, or into a bit. Some things are just jokes. Other things, they could evolve and become a huge bit. So I've got some things that I'm writing, and hopefully they become what I want them to become. And I'm very excited.
I love that.
I appreciate everyone's industry. When you do something and you love it and you know that it's hard work, when like she's a writer, she writes a book, even me, that my stand-ups are usually like 15 pages. And then you see someone who wrote a book. She wrote a book. Like, that's an achievement. I can just, my 15 pages.
I'm trying to think of his, it was also Adam something. Adam... it was a doctor, NHS doctor, who turned into a comedian, and his name's Adam, and it's called This Is Going to Hurt. If you haven't read it, read it. It's literally, it's his real story. It's from his diaries, I think, that he compiled over like 10 years of. It's called a junior doctor in the UK, but basically you're a doctor, and like basically not sleeping, working, not getting paid enough, losing all your relationships. The funny things that happen in hospitals, with colleagues, but also with patients. And I don't think I've read anything ever that is literally like I've been crying from laughter while reading it.
It's great. It was through experiences though as well. He had to go through these experiences to create. That's what another thing for me in this year is to experience more. That's why I just do it. Say yes. Yeah. Because obviously being a comedian, or being anything, even writing a book, you need to experience things which will then have an effect on your work, or even make yourself grow as a person. So,
definitely. Right, let's go for the bonus question with our crystal ball here. Shall I read it to you? Let's see. Drum roll. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I said you'd probably get an easy one.
We can do two.
Oh, yeah, I think what did you have for breakfast today?
Freddo espresso schietto.
Mono. That's good. Do you want another one? Let's see if you get a deeper.
This one that's on the good paper.
It's on this is on. So, that's a nice one. If you had one superpower, what would that be?
My superpower. I think I was asked this before, but I forgot why. Maybe a better memory. My superpower would be, I think, to fly.
You know what? I've always thought that as well.
Actually, no. It would be teleporting. Because flying, really? you got to fly. You got all the time. You're going to be in the middle of nowhere. You're going to get hungry.
Get bored after a bit.
Yeah, you get imagine flying here to America, to Australia. You don't want to do that. Where are you going to stop to chill? It's not like.
So teleporting.
Teleporting. I'll teleport.
Just like I'm going to be in Australia tomorrow.
Australia, bum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Teleport. I think it's better than flying.
Yeah.
I could just teleport to a high building if I want to see what it's like, you know.
Then you don't enjoy the journey, just enjoy the destination.
Well, you start, right, you got the flying, I got the teleporting. Let me know when you're in, I'll meet you in Australia.
Notes. I love it.
No, because I think it's not logical. Because you're going to have to bring your net. How many bottles of water? There's nowhere to stop in the middle of the Atlantic. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, teleport. I would love to teleport.
There you go. Right, my dear. Well, I think I've covered everything I wanted to ask you. I think we've got to see a little bit about the real you behind Souvlagis.
I think I was quite professional.
You did
as well
very
today.
well. Oh, well done. Absolutely. I love it. So thank you very much. We wish you all every success with your podcast, Cooler Box, with all your reels and your funny videos of Cypriot Smurf, and in your stand-up, of course. And any help you need from us at San Rafael, I'd be more than happy to always support.
Thank you so much. Hope to see you at the show.
Definitely.
Sounds good.